This video that this girl uploaded obviously went very viral because so many people have tagged me in it.
So I put this on my dating profile because I thought that was funny and cute. I matched with this guy on this dating app. I've seen him on TikTok before, and we decided to play pool. We had a date.
He brought his own pool stick. Like what? I didn't even get to hit the ball. He made me buy him a drink. After his drink, he said he had to go. What a jerk.
How evil of him for taking you up on your offer, then making you stand by your own word. Clearly, he should have treated her like a child instead, since she doesn't want to act like a mature adult. This is probably the first time she's ever not gotten her way, which is why she got so upset about it and tried to shame him on TikTok.
Fun fact, paternity tests, which are used to confirm a man is the biological father of his child, are illegal in France. And if a father is caught using a paternity test in France or in any other country, he could face up to a year in jail and a $16,000 fine. In 1994, France banned DNA testing because it had the potential to break up too many families. Even today, at-home DNA tests like 23andMe are banned in France. Because in France, 5 out of 10 men and 4 out of 10 women admit to cheating on their partner. And culturally, the attitude towards cheating is quite relaxed. So the government worried that allowing DNA tests to be conducted freely would unnecessarily tear apart too many families, saying the law preserves the peace of families. And the only way to get a legal paternity test in France is if it's ordered by a judge.
I cheated on my husband 3 months ago and I need advice.
I am straight up cheating on my husband right now. He is at home cooking steaks, asparagus, rice, and I told him, oh, I'm gonna go do some returns. I'm gonna go return some Amazon. And you wanna know what I'm really doing?
Women are way less committed to relationships than men. And this is why marriages are falling apart. But we're not allowed to say that. Seatbelts on, buckle up. I will say it again. Women are less committed to relationships than men. Roughly 70% of divorces are initiated by women. They are willing to throw the towel in sooner. Feminazis will try to convince you that women do this because of men. Because for them, the equation is always men equals evil. Now, imagine if we took men out of the equation entirely. Oh wait, we don't have to imagine that at all. We have that data. We have the divorce rates for lesbian couples. Lesbians have the highest divorce rates in the country. It turns out that if you have twice the women in a relationship, you also have twice the chance of divorce. You couldn't write it if you tried. Oh, there you go.
I told you guys I would stay accountable. I told Kyle I would tell him if this ever happened. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I'm upset. I did cheat. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just...
Dating these types of women is a humiliation ritual for the man. They prioritize attention on social media over all else, even if that means humiliating their boyfriends to get it.
The strip, the spinach deal, the meal, all of this, what I'm gonna order, you can do this to go. So,
to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And then I'm gonna get something for my 12-year-old because he eat like a man. So I get the fries. Sounds good. And then I might as well get us something to eat tomorrow because I ain't gonna feel like cooking.
Okay, now hold on for a minute. How much stuff did you just order? How much you got, ma'am? How much you got?
I have, so I already put in the wings. Those are gonna come from here. And then I have a spinach dip.
Spinach dip to go.
Buffalo sandwich to go.
Buffalo sandwich to go. Chicken tenders to go.
Yeah, that's all I have for now. I got 3 children, you know that.
You got 3 children?
Yeah, so I'm gonna order all them something.
Buffalo sandwich to go. Chicken tenders to go.
Yeah, that's all I have for now.
That's a lot to go. You might as well go. That's too much. I can't. And this is our first date. Ain't trying to be funny. This is our first date. I'm not taking care of your children. Am I crazy or she crazy? I mean, I'm just trying. Am I crazy or she crazy?
She's not trying to get it.
It's our first date. Do I supposed to take care of her children?
I'm not gonna
Look, I don't give a damn. Where you from? Look, I'm so sorry. We need to talk about it. We need to time out. Keep the other stuff we ordered. We're going to time out on the 15 to go order.
Okay.
I didn't know you had kids. You didn't tell me you had kids.
Okay. I'll be back.
Yeah, be back. We got to talk about this.
What do you mean? Why would you wait?
She is truly as entitled as they come. Imagine thinking a random person you just met is required to feed all of your kids. If she simply made better decisions, she wouldn't even be in the position to try and trick random men into buying food for her kids and then getting angry when they refuse to be used.
I have made a horrible mistake, and about 2 months ago, I found myself in an unhealthy relationship with someone at the gym.
Wait, back out. Are you married? Are you married?
Yes, I am married. That's the key.
How long?
That's the key problem. We have been married for about 5 years.
Any kids?
About 5 years. 2 children, 2 and 4.
Okay.
So I wanted to do a fitness competition, and I found myself at the gym a lot, and there was a guy there, trainer, and basically started, helping me out with some workouts. We started talking, and it went too far. My husband knows. He started talking to me. We met for coffee, and then
Did you sleep with him?
We actually ended up sleeping together, yes.
When I was 18, I was so sad that I didn't sell my virginity, right? That? Because I heard that someone sold their virginity for $3 million.
But more importantly on this issue, women, I'm 35, I'm thinking about starting a family. Everyone in my friend group is either dealing with struggles to get pregnant, losing babies that they wanted to, or finding a partner and they want to have kids but they haven't found someone, or a number of them just have chosen it's not the right path for them, and that we demonize and shame people on the most personal, private decision.
Well, Alicia, in the examples you just gave, you presented most of those issues as if they're out of your control, but they're not. The risk of miscarriage rises with age. Fertility drops significantly in the late 20s. The eggs go bye-bye, okay? So, of course your friends struggle to get pregnant. Of course they lose babies that they wanted when they choose to have children after 30. And naturally, finding a man becomes harder since men consider the factors I just mentioned, and so they look for younger women to have children with. Now, all of this are results of prioritizing your career over having kids at a younger age. And it's not demonizing women to say that. It's just so if you end up with 3 cats, you can reflect on why you ended up with 3 cats.
So I went to a singles event, and when I got there, it was literally 90% women. And I was like, I'm gonna go now.
I don't know what I find funnier as more and more women are making these videos. The fact that they're finally figuring out that men are done. They're walking away from dating. They're walking away from relationships in marriage. They don't want anything to do with women anymore. Or the fact that today's modern women can't seem to understand that they are the reason why men are walking away from dating, relationships, and marriage. Well, ladies, to quote someone from a long, long time ago, let me explain it to you, Lucy. And I'm doing so knowing full well it's a complete and utter waste of time because 99% of the women that watch this are going to fall into one of 2 camps. The ones that will not take any accountability or responsibility and will immediately jump in the comments to deny that this is the reality. Or the other ones who can't deal with the aforementioned reality and accountability that they do need to take, and therefore will shut themselves down rather than have to listen to it. But for that 1% that might actually listen, here's the reality for y'all. For years now, you've all run around saying you don't want men, you don't need men, you just want them to leave you alone. And if you didn't say it, you allowed other women to say it for you and never told them to stop. You allowed those women to speak for you and to tell men to go away, which is exactly what men are doing. Yet you're all sitting here shocked that men are actually doing what you asked, because you've all convinced each other that men don't listen to you, when in fact, we do. We hear you loud and clear. And yet here you are wondering why there's no men at these dating events. I mean, really? Then of course there's the never-ending ridiculous demands, higher standards you've all come up with, where you expect men to be perfect, where you'll deride them for being less than 6 feet tall or making less than 6 figures, even though the overwhelming majority of men fall into one or both of those camps. And don't even get me started on these 6-pack abs and 6-inch you-know-what, which you all demand men have, but when men hold you to similar criteria, you scream it's not fair, it's body shaming. I'm sorry to tell you, ladies, but contrary to the belief you all have, we're not dumb. We see and hear what you're saying. We see it for the double standards and utter hypocrisy that it is, and we're not going to deal with it. But hey, you can keep chasing those perfect 10s, you know, the less than 5% of guys that actually meet all those criteria, even though the reality is, for most of you, you don't stand a chance of getting one of those guys, because they could have any woman they want, and they're not going to settle for an average woman, which is what most of you are. Just like most men are average also. And just like you've rejected all those average men as not worthy enough, well, I hate to break it to you, they're now rejecting you because you're not worthy enough. The difference being that, unlike women rejecting men for superficial things like not having six-pack abs or being 6 foot tall or making six-figure income, men are rejecting the average woman because they've become so toxic, so ridiculous with their demands, so utterly narcissistic that it's simply not worth engaging with them. The reality of the world is today's women have made it completely unsafe for men to be anywhere near them. The risk of a false allegation of harassment or worse is simply too great. And while you all love to scream that they're rare, the reality is it happens by the millions every single year, and men know it. This is especially true at things like dating events, because it's every bit as likely for a man that you're going to turn around and claim he's harassing you, or that you'll mock him, humiliate him, even go so far as making videos about him because you find it amusing that he actually thought he might have a chance with you when he's not even in your league, which is hilarious since most of the women who do these things aren't in any man's league, which is why later on in life they end up making videos demeaning men and putting them down because they've ended up broke, bitter, and alone, and they want to encourage as many women to join them in their misery.